Captain Elias Rowan had spent 6 lonely years traveling the outer colonies aboard the research vessel Aurora. Space was beautiful, yes, but it was also cold, silent, and endless. Everything changed the night they found the signal. It came from a forgotten moon orbiting a dying blue star, deep in uncharted space. No one had ever mapped the region. No civilization was supposed to exist there. But something did. When Elias landed with his team, they discovered glowing crystal forests, rivers that floated in the air like ribbons, and strange silver flowers that opened only when someone spoke. And in the center of it all, standing beneath a tower of light, was her. She was unlike anything he had ever seen. Her name was Lyra. She looked almost human, but her skin shimmered like moonlight. Her eyes held tiny constellations, and when she moved, the air around her glowed in soft colors. She belonged to an ancient alien race called the Ayalari, beings who lived in harmony with the energy of stars. Lyra had been alone for many years, guarding the moon's heart, a living source of cosmic power. At first, Elias and Lyra could barely understand each other. Her language sounded like music, while his translator struggled to keep up. But day by day, they learned. He taught her about Earth, rainstorms, oceans, jazz music, and sunrises over mountains. She showed him wonders beyond imagination. How stars are born, how light can carry memory, and how love in her species was felt not only in the heart, but in the soul itself. Soon, Elias found excuses to stay longer. He would sit beside her in the floating gardens, watching galaxies spin overhead. Sometimes they said nothing at all. They didn't need to. One night, beneath a meteor shower, Lyra touched his hand. A pulse of warm silver light traveled between them. In that moment, Elias felt her emotions as clearly as his own. Her loneliness, her hope, her growing love for him. And he gave her his heart. Their love deepened in secret beneath the stars. But there was one thing neither of them understood. The Ayalari did not reproduce the way humans did. Their children were born from a bond of shared energy between two souls deeply connected. When Elias and Lyra joined their spirits beneath the moon's crystal core, something extraordinary happened. The moon itself awakened. A burst of radiant light exploded into the sky, sending waves across the galaxy. Days later, Lyra told him the impossible. She was carrying a child. Elias froze in shock. "A child?" he whispered. Lyra smiled softly, placing his hand against the glowing light beneath her chest. "Half of your heart, half of mine." Inside her, a tiny pulse answered him. He laughed, then cried, overwhelmed by a joy he never thought possible. But happiness in space never comes easily. The awakening of the moon had sent a signal to the Dravok Empire, a ruthless species that hunted powerful cosmic energy. Their warships descended on the moon, demanding the child. "The hybrid will belong to us," their commander declared. "It carries the power of both worlds." Elias refused. Lyra stood beside him, her silver eyes blazing. Together, human and alien, they fought. Elias led the Aurora in a desperate defense, while Lyra unlocked the moon's ancient power. Crystal towers rose from the ground like giants, firing beams of light into the invading fleet. In the middle of the battle, Lyra collapsed. The child was coming. Elias rushed to her side inside the crystal chamber as explosions shook the moon. "I'm here," he said, holding her close. Outside, the moon's heart pulsed faster and faster, responding to their love, their fear, their hope. Then, with one final burst of light, the chamber filled with brilliance. The Dravok fleet was swallowed in a wave of pure star energy and vanished into deep space. Silence returned. and in Elias's arms lay a child unlike any being the universe had ever seen. She had Lyra's glowing skin, Elias's eyes, and tiny lights dancing beneath her fingertips like newborn stars. They named her Nova. Years later, Elias never returned to Earth. He chose Lyra. He chose their daughter. Together they built a new home on the moon, a place where humans and Aelari could meet in peace, where love was no longer bound by species, planets, or stars. Every night, Elias would hold Lyra close as Nova laughed among the floating rivers of light. "Do you ever regret staying?" Lyra asked him one evening. Elias kissed her forehead and looked at their daughter chasing starlight. "Never," he said, because in the endless universe, among billions of stars, he had found the one place he truly belonged. With her.